much as I would love that to be true, Joe. Damn, now you had me thinking about that, Joe.
Think about it all night.
I'm going to think about it for like at least the next 72 hours.
Yeah.
Of how much better the Knights of Ren could have been. Goodness gracious. Anyway, welcome everybody to an all-new episode of the Galactic Review. We are here to discuss episode 4 of Book of Boba. Now, look, the last 3 episodes have been very divided amongst the fan base of Star Wars. Whether it's casual or diehard fans have been very divided over these last 3 episodes. But scrolling through Twitter like I usually never do, it seems very positive for this latest episode because of what everyone's expecting to happen in the next episode. So they did a good job. And look, it looks like we're done with flashbacks. So I know a lot of people are very excited about that. The flashbacks died. They're gone. We won't see them anymore. But before we get into this episode, let me introduce the panel, starting off with Trayvon. What's up, Trayvon?
Hey, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk about this. This episode was cute. I'm gonna leave it there. Till I get to my part.
I've never heard that used in a nice way. That's usually always meant to be what is the word? Sarcastic, I guess. Where someone's
mildly
like
condescending.
Yeah, that was cute. Somewhere Jon Favreau is just like, Trayvon, wow, I thought I wrote a good episode. From Just Your Average Joe. Joe, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? How you doing tonight?
Good. Did you think this episode was cute also?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go as far as saying cute, well, at least not in the condescending way, but definitely I would say a little better than the last episode.
Fair. So adorable. It was at least adorable.
Yeah, I'd go and grab its cheeks, give it a little, but that's it.
Oh man, I'm just messing with you, Trayvon. You know how much I love you, bro.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
And from the Kinda Nerdy Network, Kinda Nerdy Girls and Kinda Nerdy Dudes, KJ and Patches, welcome.
What's happening?
Hi.
Super glad to have you both here.
Yes.
I know.
Welcome
it's-
back.
Boba.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I can't hang out for long, but I'm happy to be here. And I did think that the interactions with the Banta were very cute. So I accept cute as a description for this episode.
I would say if there was a moment where someone could pinch someone's cheeks, it would have been when Black Chrysanthemum was trying to kill those guys. I can just imagine Boba just going up like, "You're just so cute." I don't think he would have taken that very well.
Probably.
No.
And my brother from another mother that does much to do about nothing with me, Joel. What's up, Joel?
What is up, everybody?
Are you super excited to talk this episode of Book of Boba?
I am whelmed, but I'm ready.
You're whelmed. Oh my goodness. Jon Favreau just did not win today.
Well, I'm not alone.
If I don't know what sells the beginning of this podcast, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I don't even know what's about to be said. But all right, let's kick this off. I did think this was to me, this wasn't a filler. I actually attribute this episode to the episode of The Mandalorian season 2, where Din brought Grogu to the Jedi, where it had a significant amount of action. It obviously was a story pusher, but that episode clearly was just to get you to the next episode where all hell broke loose. Obviously, spoiler alert, we saw Luke.
What?
We saw the teaming of everybody coming together. So this looks like it's trying to get you to whatever the next few episodes are that should be larger than life. We're assuming. But KJ and Patches, I want to pass it to you first. There were a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of little musical notes that kind of gave some inclinations for what's to come. But how did you both enjoy this episode?
Well, I'll say, like, I know this is my first time being here, but I actually have enjoyed the backstory and the flashbacks a little bit more than I guess everybody else here. I was like, oh, okay, we're caught up. Well, dang it, I was really liking that. I especially enjoyed the, where we went with the character development in this one and understanding that that partnership between the two of them, because we haven't really seen much of that and why she's so loyal to him. And again, I mean, like, I was like, look at you go. You gave the Banta some personality. Like, we've never had that before. So
yep. And you know what I love the most, KJ? And I'm gonna pass it right back to you. What I love the most about this episode was, I swear they filmed this episode recently, and obviously we know they didn't. But here's why I'm making that horrible joke. It seemed like it answered every negative thing the internet had to say about the last 3 episodes.
Yeah,
so you got people saying like, "Oh my goodness, Boba! This isn't Boba. He's so weak." That line was used in this episode.
Yes.
You had people saying, "Oh my God, the backstory. Can we get to modern day?" They did that. You had people saying, "Is he going to be taking a bath in every episode?" You got that. Everyone asking, "Was the Rancor a trap?" We got an answer to that. So it seems like they literally were like, if you would wait them, it's kind of like WandaVision, where everyone wanted the answers like episode 3. And it's like,
right.
It's a process. We'll get there. Relax. So Book of Boba looked like it followed that formula to where it's now answering everyone's, I don't want to say negative, but their problems so far.
Well, and I agree with that, Juwan. And I don't know if it's a mentality because we've been so spoiled with binge watching that, like, this is the art of telling a story. Right. Sometimes you don't quite understand where it's going, but you come back for it because you want to know. Like, that's what they're doing. We don't understand everything. If we did, it would be pretty boring. Like, it'd be like, okay, here's a movie, we're done. But yeah, to me, I mean, I did feel like the last couple episodes were a little bit slower. And wrapping my head around the mentality that they are telling the story similar to how they told the Mandalorian, and that is the cadence. But yeah, I was excited with this episode to see so much move forward to where it is. Okay, now things are going to get crazy.
Right.
So they better deliver on that next week.
We're hoping so. And as I pass it to you, Patches, my question that I want to ask you is, I was one of those people, so I don't want to pass it off to other people like I wasn't one of them. To me, the last time we all, right, let's take diehard Star Wars fans out, just casual Star Wars fans, saw Boba Fett. He had such a short arc, right? It was kind of there, standing, flew a bit, supposedly died, right? Essentially, that was the whole arc. So when we start this series and we're kind of just like, you don't really seem Boba-ish, right? Like that moment where you're just that extreme badass, right? It's just not there yet. Albeit we have a few more episodes to go to get there. I can kind of resonate with a few people that are like, I just want the badass Boba we know he is, right? And that's why it spoke to me when Finnick is just like, you are soft. And he's like, no, actually, I'm stronger. And we're just like, all right, well, we haven't seen it. But how did you feel about that line? And do you kind of feel like they're building to that massive Boba moment? Or you kind of feel like most people to where you're just so kind of spoiled with how Din Djarin was a badass from the opening credits of episode 1 of season 1 all the way to the final episode of season 2?
I think I'll be good either way, whichever direction they go. Okay. I think though that this is just a new Boba. I mean, you're gonna see the badass come out, obviously, right? I mean, there's no way, Favreau and Filoni are not gonna make that happen.
But I mean, how bored would we be if they just made him this one-dimensional badass? Like, he has to have some reason.
It has to be more depth.
He has to have some reason for what he's doing.
Yeah.
And again, because Filoni is involved, I have so much faith because I remember when I first heard that they were bringing Darth Maul back, and I'm just like, why? Like, if you didn't
Right.
have the wherewithal to make him matter then, just give us something new. And then you see what they did with Darth Maul and his
Yeah.
journey, and you're like, well, okay. Because remember, he starts off completely erratic. Like, he's insane. And it's
Mhm.
just like, where are they going with this? And then you see it and you're like, oh, that's Darth Maul. So I'm like, I do believe Boba, it's a journey, which is fine. It's just one of those things where it's like, as long as you do it, no problems. But if you don't, there weren't many people that were dying to get Boba to come out of that Sarlacc pit. So you got to deliver on why it was important for him to come back.
Yeah, and they're stressing the point, especially this episode, of, you know, like, this is why we're not, you know, this is why I don't want to be a bounty hunter. I'm tired of doing, you know, I mean, they're stressing that point over and over, and I think that's great. So I mean, it's not for lack of them saying, hey, by the way, this, you know, I'm not a bounty hunter anymore. Don't mean, you know, don't ever think I'm not a badass, but I am not a bounty hunter. So, and I think that's, sorry, Joe, go ahead.
No, you're not finished. Go.
Yeah. So, you know, and I think that's why, you know, like like some of the Star Wars fans that are, you know, kind of up in arms and stuff. It's like, where's the badass Boba, blah, 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 blah. That was bounty hunter Boba. This is the different Boba. The badass Boba is there. This is a smarter, wiser, and building an empire Boba.
Oh boy, yep.
Yeah.
Not a soldier, like toy soldier. He's a
Right.
boss.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, one of the reasons why those flashbacks were so important is if you don't get those flashbacks, this Boba Fett is very confusing. Because again, him falling in that Sarlacc pit and then coming out of that, that's not months, years where he's just sitting in there thinking like, damn, how did I get here? Let me change life. That's very quickly he got out of that Sarlacc pit. So if you don't see the journey of where he goes mentally, then I can understand being up in arms. But that's why the flashbacks are so important, because you saw him just kind of saying like, doing this whole bounty hunter stuff is what landed me in that Sarlacc pit. Doing other people's bidding. Like, I had no qualms with none of these people,
Right.
but I took money, ended up dead, right? Or supposedly dead, you know?
Well, and KJ, I think you said it the very first episode, that the episode 1 was the, you know, for all the people that are mad about the Star, you know, like all the flashbacks. To me, the point that she brought up, I was like, oh, you're right. The flashbacks are what feel the most Star Wars. So, I mean, so which way? Like, you can't have it both ways, right? You either like it because you like Star Wars, and you know the flashbacks feel like Star Wars more than the series, because the series is more, you know, contemporary, present, you know, blah blah blah.
Right.
So which way is it going to be?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, look. No, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
No, my personal issue, and I don't know if this is how everybody else feels. The people that are complaining. My issue isn't that, okay, like, do the perfect analogy is what you're saying. If you do the casual Star Wars fan, right? Where you see him in Empire, you see him in Return of the Jedi, right? Obviously the way he dies. And now you see Boba. Now you have the flashbacks. You can understand where he's coming from. You know, he was accepted by a tribe. He's wiser now because he's older. He's also weathered. So I can understand why he doesn't want to be a bounty hunter. I get all those. I get all of that. My issue is that that's not, we didn't see him in Return of the Jedi and then fast forward and now we see him now. The problem was we got him in The Mandalorian, and the action sequences in The Mandalorian, the character we got in The Mandalorian does not fit the way he is now. The flashbacks, maybe, because that's before. The flashbacks make sense because that's before we see him as he grows into this certain character, which we see him in then a Mando, timeline-wise. But we've seen him in Mando, and this is after Mando. And he's just completely different. And I would have liked it more if we would have seen just a little taste of something. You know, I can understand why he's being reserved, and Fennec's like, oh, you got to show assertiveness. You got to show power. You got to show power. At least one little something at that meeting would have been nice, because they all pretty much said, we're not going to help you. I mean, they obviously decided to be neutral. That's what we're just not going to step in, whatever. But it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like somebody had said, I can't remember who it was on your show last week, Juwan. Somebody used the Untouchables analogy.
Oh, JD. Yeah.
Yeah. And JD says, I want to see him like Al Capone showing up to one of those meetings where somebody crosses him or he knew somebody betrayed him and he just bashes them over the skull from behind without them even knowing it's coming. And that's what I want to see. I'm not saying that he showed like a ruthless side in Mando, but he definitely showed he was even using his blaster. Where did his blaster go? You know what I mean? So I don't know. That was my own. That's where my problem is. Not that we got a different Mando from Return of the Jedi and Empire, but we got a different Mando from just a season ago.
Well, also you do have to look at it like this. I don't think they're much different, but also the Mandalorian season 2 was the first time we had seen Boba since Empire, right?
Yeah. Return Jedi.
Return of Jedi. I'm sorry. So you couldn't bring him back as conservative as he is now, right? Because that would seem like a waste. So
why go backwards? But why go backwards?
It's not backwards though. And here's why. If you remember exactly, everything was for a reason. When Boba shows up in the Mandalorian season 2, it's only to get his armor back.
Yes.
Right. So he has no idea who Mando is, or
doesn't care who Mando is. He just wants his
armor.
armor.
He just wants his armor back. So he's doing whatever he needs to do to get it back. But then remember, once he figures out that Din Djarin isn't holding it because he stole it from him, he was holding it because his Beskar belongs to his people. Then Boba very easily disarmed himself. They got along very well after that. So much so, Boba was willing to tag along with him going through where he could have just left.
No, I don't mean the conflict between him and Din. I meant the conflict
I just mean his character was very
between
reserved.
him and him.
taking out stormtroopers with a stick, but then of course using, like I said, the blaster. There's just I don't see it.
Look at a whole bunch of games last episode. What are you talking about?
No, wait. In this episode,
them all the fuck up.
Actually, no.
Wait, you mean episode 3, Joe? I mean, not
this last episode. He shot them all down.
Fennec did.
He found them and shot them down.
Oh no! And that was great. In the ship.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, that was my favorite part. That was absolutely my favorite part of the episode. And Joel is right. Yes, we finally see something, and I'm glad you brought that up because that is my favorite part of the episode when he tracks down the biker gang and he shoots them down in the flashback. Right? I get it. Yeah, no, that was good, and you're right about that.
But also,
that present time.
No, go ahead, Joe.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just when he's trying to be a crime boss and he's trying to do it in a different way, right? He's trying to, and she keeps telling him, and everybody keeps telling him, and I'm wondering if it's going to bite him in the ass because we've been getting them a lot too. These Godfather references, right? What happens to Corleone when he doesn't want to adapt to Vito Corleone? Doesn't want to adapt, doesn't want to listen to, although he was a hothead in Sonny's advice, he wanted things to change. He knew that there were certain things that you were going to have to do, whether you were against them or not. And I just wonder if that's going to happen to him, if they are going to parallel the Godfather.
But to me, what I loved about this episode, what I loved about Boba was what you and JD were saying you wanted to see. I love that we didn't get it because I love his subtlety, right? So it's the equivalent to when you're sitting in like a gangster. I don't know anything about this. I've never been a gangster or anything, but watching movies, when you see the subtlety, to me, I believe something as simple as sitting in a business meeting and just holding the gun on your lap so that they could see it is just as powerful as shooting him, right? It sends the same message that I'm willing to go as far as I need to. So just having the Rancor have his nails stick out of the hole.
Yeah, that was exactly that.
Right.
Yes.
Was the equivalent of saying, I don't mind throwing you down here if you don't all say yes right now. So to me, Boba is slowly adapting to what you're saying. He's seeing that it doesn't have to all be, I walk in the room, I shoot him in the face, now everyone say yes. It doesn't have to be that, and he doesn't want to rule that way.
They technically still said no to him, though.
I agree with you, Joe, because how I saw it, I've been saying this from the beginning. He's very passive now. He's very I felt like they kind of walked over him in that meeting. That's how I felt when I was watching it. I was like, okay, he's trying to get a kind of an alliance going, and they're just like, what's stopping us from like killing you right now? And they all stand up like they're gonna do something, and then he
No,
basically
they stood up because
back,
of the bank.
They still because the
what I'm
rank
saying,
war.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but he kind of like backed down from them and told them, okay, you just be neutral. So basically, you know, if something happens to my area, you guys are going to help me. That's pretty much what I got from that. And I felt like he should have told them, like, okay, when they come and fuck your shit up, don't come calling for me. That's
Right.
at least say something. He didn't say anything. He was just like, okay, you guys be neutral, bye. And I was like, that's it. I was
But
like,
see,
But I
that's
kind
a
of got
power
from
play.
it. Yeah, I kind of got
Yeah.
it.
They weren't
Same
gonna
thing. I
vote.
kind of got it as he didn't expect. He got exactly what he expected out of that meeting. He
Right.
brought them
they're
in.
gonna
He
betray
didn't
him, though.
expect
They're
them to
not-
all hug
He
and say,
knows
yes,
that.
let's, you know,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Right.
That's why I said dialogue is so important. That's literally what him and Phoenix Shan were saying. So where she's like, "Do you trust him?" Of course not.
No.
Like I'm in a room of criminals. Of course I don't trust
Well,
them.
what was
They're
the
gonna-
point in the meeting then? Why have the meeting at
The
all?
The
point
whole
in
point
the
of
meeting-
the meeting is for him to let them know I am here to assert myself, and if need be, I will kill whoever here I need to, but I don't need to kill you now. Now is just where I'm very assertive of, look, this is what I want to do. You know what I want to do. You know what happens if you cross the line. So
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
You know what's going to happen, Trayvon? They're
Nothing.
going to have to
Nothing.
come back to the
Nothing.
palace
Yeah.
and stand in a 4x4.
Right,
And he's
exactly.
got you. I got you. You stand on that trap.
Exactly.
I got you. You know what I
Right.
wanted to happen? I don't know if all of you guys seen the movie Dick Tracy, but when
Oh, yeah.
they're in the meeting with Al Capone's Al Pacino's character,
Right.
and he's trying to get everybody on board, and the guy says, "I'm out." He goes, "All right, you're out. What are you gonna do? I can't hold you to it. Go ahead, goodbye." He goes out and the car blows up. I thought he was setting a trap. I thought something was gonna happen where he was gonna blow one of their speeders up, something, because it was the one character that was really against him. Part of the
True. Yeah.
I forgot what their species is, but the one that kept
the one
talking
at the
back
end
to him the
table.
most.
The one across from him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one at the other
exactly.
end of the
Yeah.
table. Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
thought he was gonna say, okay, and that's how you assert some type of fear. I'm
He would
sorry,
probably
but I
not.
feel like fear is needed in this. And I understand he's got the rancor. I get it. That was a cool scene. But I don't know. I just feel like I want a little bit more from this. That's all.
But-
I
but see,
underground.
feel as though they're setting it up though, because again,
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
Boba and all they said was in that conversation, no, or okay, we'll be neutral. You can't just murder them off of that, right? You got to see how this plays out. What if they do come and defend you? Now you didn't kill half of them. Now they don't want to work with you for sure.
Right.
Mhm.
So to me, you've set the tone. Let's see how it plays out. Because if need
Or they
be,
sell you out.
Go see who's gonna
Or
stay
they sell you out.
what I'm trying to say is, Trayvon, this man has lived in the underworld for all of his life. He is he's been doing this since he was a child. He is very aware of how this game goes. And if he feels as though peace is the way to go about this, I trust Boba, because I believe when it all comes down to it, if Boba needs to roll some heads, Boba will roll some heads.
Well, and look at the setup that they've already had. I mean, it's not like they brought the Pikes in on the flashbacks for no reason.
Right.
He knows the Pikes. He knows how to take them down. That's why he was just
He
like,
doesn't
that-
like them.
yeah, exactly.
Also-
That's why he was flexing at that dinner table, saying, "Fine, I'm gonna take care of them. Stay the hell out of my way,
Right.
Because I know how to do it. You don't."
Right. So that's why I believe if you're Boba, the best way to really sell this and really strike fear is a show of force. But you only give a show of force when it's necessary. It's not necessary yet. It will be, and we'll see it. We'll see it full force.
How many people have literally said to his face in plain, without saying it actually, but basically saying, "Look, we think you're a pussy." That's literally what they've been saying
Yes,
almost
they did.
every single episode.
Yes.
We think
That's
you're a
why I think the
pushover.
payoff is going to be
Well,
so
and
good.
that's what I'm hoping. And KJ brings up a really good point, the art of storytelling. And there's a lot of things from episode 1 to now
And only skip to the
that
end.
we're not going to know until the story fleshes out, until we get if there is a payoff or not. So I'm hoping that is true, and we are going down a path that's going to be satisfying. I do.
I
hope that.
just, my biggest thing, I'm going to pass it right to you, Patches. My biggest thing is the man who created Din Djarin, no way he writes to resurrect one of the most badass bounty hunters ever in the history of Star Wars, just to make him that passive. It's coming. It's coming.
All
It
right.
is. And when it comes, the entire Tatooine will respect Boba and fear him.
Yep.
It's gonna come, and when it does, it'll be glorious.
You know what would be awesome is if he pulls a Michael Corleone and gets all 5 of them. He hits all the 5 families at once in the final episode. All right, you guys didn't want to help me. You want a neutral? All right, I'm gonna hit all 5 families at the same time.
Look, very likely could. He could pull what he did to Bib Fortuna, where the end credit scene is him literally just going house to house.
Yeah.
Just, all right, killed you.
Yeah, he
All
shot
right,
Bib
now
he honestly, I mean, if you think about it, I know he did it to gain the territory and gain the palace, but he literally shot Bib. He shot Bib Fortuna for less. You know, Bib was just literally sitting there eating. He was eating some Haagen-Dazs ice cream and he got shot.
Well, also remember, the biggest thing was I think he killed Bib Fortuna because everyone knew Bib Fortuna had no power.
I know.
So that was the easiest seat to vacate. You vacate
Talk
him.
about a pussy, yeah.
I mean, it's why when Bib Fortuna died, no one came after Boba. No one was just like, all right, you killed one of our friends. We got to take. Everyone was just like, who can He did nothing to begin with.
That's why no one
killed a
respected
puppet.
him. He's like, that's an easy one.
Yeah, that's the easiest guy to kill. You killed Bib? What? Sure. Okay. Who cares? No. So, I mean, I really did appreciate that. And Joe, I want to pass this to you because this scene might have been my favorite scene in all of Star Wars. Black Chrysanthemum. In the I wrote it down because I always forget how to pronounce their names. I wrote it right in my notes because I'm like, I know I'm gonna butcher this. Trandoshan's, yes.
Trandoshan's.
So the backstory between those two, Trandoshan's used to slave Wookiees. So Wookiees and their kind do not like each other. Because I know a lot of people are just like, what did they do to him? Like, why did he just snap?
You saw it in the first episode. You saw it in the first episode with the pelt, the Wookiee pelt.
Yes. It's really honestly more so, like, I know a lot of kids say it today. It's like slang, but on sight. Whenever a Wookiee sees them, they have no problem killing them on sight. It's no conversations need to be had. But what I appreciated the most was, if you don't know their race, when he pulls his arm off, what I love most about it was that was a Chewbacca deleted scene. B, their limbs grow back.
Yeah.
So I know for a lot of people they saw it and they were just like, what? And it's like, well, he did that because he knows that his arm will just grow back. But it was just to send the message of, I wanted to kill all of you. She stopped me, but I really wanted to kill all of you. So Joe, I pass it to you. What were your thoughts seeing that scene and then your thoughts on the episode?
That scene was great. Because I was like, I mean, I already knew the setup, that it was all setting up for him to eventually join. Because that's what I've been wanting. Like when he walked away the last couple episodes ago, I was like, don't let this big weapon walk away. Because I mean, this is a perfect. Just bring him on. Like you're building a team. I love this. I love the whole concept of the show because he's building a family, right? He's building his army or whatever the fuck. So from the beginning, I'm like, I love the idea of he's just, and it started with Fennec. And little by little, he's just getting more, and I love it. I absolutely, and of course, I don't think I can ever say any episode is bad as long as the score is the fucking score. Because that score is amazing. Yeah. Like it sells the whole show for me.
It is good.
It's automatic 9. You got to be a 10. The story has to be good, but it's a 9 automatically because of the damn score. But this episode was really good. We got back. I don't have any issues with the backstories. I love knowing more about what's going on. And I did want to know more about how he got Fennec and helped her out. I thought that every time those mod people are around, they jar me. They're a little jarring for me. So we get to see them again, and then they help. We see how they fixed up her stomach and all that extra shit. So, I mean, that was cool. And I think he has been badass a lot. He's just been conservative. Like he's not as murder. He's not killing everybody on sight, but. I mean, in a way, he's been a badass the whole season. I mean, people look down on him because he's looking for power, and they're not scared of him because he's not a dick either. You know what I mean? Where like the huts and shit, they have all these people holding them up. Like he wants to do it differently, and he wants respect in a different way, and I get that, and I respect that. You know, it's different, and look, it has to be different than what we've gotten in the Mandalorian, where he is an actual bounty hunter at the moment, and this is different. This is like a mafia thing. He's building a family to create his own syndicate, basically, and in Tatooine. So it's like I love seeing that journey at the moment, and it's just been really, to me, the whole thing has been really fun. It's been a fun show so far for me. Again, and actually getting to see him get trained by the Tusken Raiders and seeing the whole point of the robes, and I love all that. That's cool too. What else? Like I said, I love that he finally recruited Black KRS-One, as I like to call him, but Chris Sanson. Him, he's so cool looking. So I'm glad that he's finally part of the team.
Yep.
And look, they've alluded already to who might be the next one to join his little army. So I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I had to plan out who Boba Fett's team would be, it would be Mando, Black Chrysanthemum, Fennec Shan, Dangar, and Bo-Katan. And then probably a few regular Mandalorians that they bring on. But Tangar, say it again.
I said, would Bo-Katan join?
Bo-Katan would go wherever Din Djarin goes, because if he dies at any moment, she wants to just pick up the Darksaber. So I wholeheartedly believe there's not many places Din goes that she's not just there like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were choking. Okay. Like, you fall? Oh, you're still alive. Okay. No problem. But yeah, so I think that will be his team. And I think the people that they will face off against will be Bossk, Cad Bane, the Pikes, and Kiara. I really hope I get Bossk. Again, Trayvon, you're working your way there. I appreciate it. You've been doing great. But at some point, you will see in Clone Wars, Boba did have a team. And his team was really badass. And a few of those characters could be some of the characters you might see as soon as next week. Including Bossk, who was
alive.
Right. Bossk was a really good friend of Boba's, but they also hated each other. That was very much a weird relationship between the two of them. Boba ripped Bossk off a few times. Bossk wasn't that.
When I looked up the relationship between the Trandoshans and Black Chrysanthemum, because I wanted to see exactly why there was bad blood between him and the Wookiees. But I already kind of got an idea why, because of episode 1. If I'm not mistaken, the Bossk came up in the article. He was his bodyguard at one point.
He was whose bodyguard?
Boba's. No, Boba's. It was Bossk was Boba's bodyguard at one point in the.
Huh?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Do you remember what season he came in?
Oh, you're far from it, Trayvon.
Okay,
that's all I can.
I'm almost done with season 2. Okay.
I don't know everybody in that by name.
How
do you spell that?
Spell what?
Bossk.
Bosc, I believe.
No, Bosk.
Well, and JD in the comments said that both the species, they both came from Kashyyyk, and the Wookiees lived in the trees, and the Trandoshans lived below in the swamps.
Oh, yeah. Bossk, he was the other bounty hunter. All right, yeah.
I knew you knew who Bossk was.
I just named. I don't know a lot about other names.
But yes, to what you were saying, Patches. To what JD said in the comments. Yeah, they did not live far from each other, enough so that one seemingly had rule over the other, to where that is a very strong hate between the two of them. And to answer your question, JD, yes, I do believe that he brings in Mandalorians because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau keep retconning whether or not the Fetts were Mandalorians. And we got the answer fully to that in the Mandalorian season 2, that he is indeed Mandalorian. But Dave Filoni is making so many things that he made canon not make any sense. The first time we see the Mandalorians in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Obi-Wan brings up, there's this Jango Fett guy. What's going on with him? And they were very adamant that they are not Mandalorians. Only for them to come out now. They are Mandalorians. But I did love the line of Boba Fett going. Now, the only thing that saved me was the fact that this armor was Beskar, sorry.
Beskar, yeah.
I love that because I'm like, okay, that's very interesting. Because I think you could make a case that Jango's armor was not. That lightsaber cut through that head pretty easily.
What through his neck? I don't think that's covered.
Yeah. There was no Beskar covering his neck.
He did cut his head off.
Yeah, he cut his head clean off.
That's right. He did cut his head off.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking he cut him. I'm thinking Darth Maul. Darth Maul got cut in half. That's what I was thinking. That's what I confused myself with. But yeah, so I mean,
twice. Poor guy.
Well, technically, spoiler alert, technically the second time because it was a children's show, he didn't get cut in half.
Yeah, it was more like a slash.
Which was the weirdest thing because he got cut this way and then just fell down holding his midsection. It was just okay.
It's a kid's show, like you said, it's a cartoon. So.
Right. But it was weird that the cut was this way and then he fell this way, and it's just like,
ouch.
All right. But yeah, so I do think we will be getting. I do think we will be getting. Now, I will say this: I don't think necessarily it means Din Djarin will be joining. I think if anything, Din might be giving out some Mandalorians for him to utilize.
Every time you say his name, I have to think about what you're talking about. I call him Mando.
No, I get that.
And it threw me off every time.
I get
now
it.
Now I know. I think you're talking about two different people.
It's the same thing I tell people about Baby Yoda. You're calling a race, a individual's name. Mando is only short for Mandalorians, and those are people.
He will be Mando, Kenny, though.
But again, like we said before, Jon Favreau was not in a rush to correct anybody during season 1. They were just Baby Yoda this, Mando this, and it's just like, those are races. Like I'm sorry, Yoda is the name of an individual, not the name of that race.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he didn't correct anybody all of season 1. I was just like, you're just gonna keep letting them say this? Goodness gracious. But yeah, so I'm starting to feel that, and I kind of want to just accept that for myself, so I don't have these overwhelming expectations of Din Djarin fighting alongside Boba. I see it more so as him just doling out Mandalorians for him to use.
And they're alluding to it. I mean, in the score, like what you were talking about, Joel.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like over and over. I mean, you've got that horn coming in, and that low percussion, the low percussion coming in, and I mean, like if it's not Din, it's got to be some of the Mandalorians. I mean, there's
right.
So, but my question is then, if they bring them in, is this where Cad Bane comes in too?
Well, I think Cad Bane's is going to be hired by either the Pikes or
the Hutts.
Why do I keep forgetting this girl's name? Goodness gracious. Kiara. I think one of those two hired Cad Bane to assassinate Boba Fett.
Gotcha.
Because you want to take him out secretly. No one knows who did it, doesn't know where it came from. You hire Cad Bane for that job. But I do want to be clear. I do believe we will see Din. I'm just saying I wouldn't put much stock in him joining the fight. Is all I'm saying. I think we'll see him for sure. But him joining the fight, would it be awesome? 100%. But also, if I'm Din, I'm saying, I don't know if I owe you that, Boba. You weren't on that ship helping us fight all those those killer robots. You left. You went to safety. Finnick helped us. Because remember, Joel, they didn't. Favreau didn't want Boba on the same ship as Luke.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's like again, it's not Boba's fault.
No, I didn't say it was Boba's fault, but I'm saying if I'm Din, what I owe you is giving you Mandalorians. Like that's it.
Well, we don't know we don't know exactly what Din's up to yet, so we got to explain that too.
Well, that's why that'll be very interesting because you assume he has to be trying to build New Mandalore or rebuild Mandalore, rather.
You're assuming, right?
Because to me, you don't give him the Darksaber, force him to keep it, and then go, well, he just went on to do more bounty hunting. What? That makes no sense.
No, you got to explain.
Right. Especially because of his and I really hope, and we're not getting into the Mandalorian, but I really hope the armorer survived. Because she would be very proud that Din found his way to the Darksaber.
Yeah.
Because she very much wanted to come from out the sewers for the Mandalorians to have their day again. So I think that would be really awesome to see that kind of come back. They keep talking about tribe. Does Boba rebuild the tribe of No, I don't think Boba will be joining the Mandalorians at all. I think what he keeps referring to by tribe is the tribe he's going to build for his own. The little tribe in Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
The armor got set up permanently in the palace. Tatooine becomes the new home for the Mandalorians. Is this what Book of Boba Fett is about? No, I think that's too convoluted. I think that then messes up a lot. Because if you're Din and you're the owner of the Darksaber and they're rebuilding Mandalore, albeit he doesn't want it, but you can't pass off leadership. That's not how that works at all. You own that saber, so you therefore are the head of the Mandalorians. It's why Bo wanted it, so she could be the leader of the Mandalorians. So for Din to be the leader of the Mandalorians, but Boba is the leader of Tatooine, like that's too much. That's way too much. Mandalorian should be built somewhere else, maybe in the ashes of what that planet was. I don't know if they were alluding to that planet was destroyed or not, or if they just wiped out the Mandalorians. I think that's what was said, that the Empire just killed all the Mandalorians. I don't think they destroyed the planet. But Joe, I pass it back to you before I give it to you, Trayvon. What else did you want to add from this episode?
No, I didn't hate it. I really don't want to come off as either bashing the show itself, but definitely not this episode. This episode was one of my favorites. I like the fact that we get our answer in the very beginning, that we do in fact get the flashback of him leading up to meeting Fennec. I do like, in the score, we're known, or we're basically told as the audience that, Din is around. And I had a feeling at that point, when you see the flash in the air, we were going to see Fennec at one point. I liked that we got your answer to your question, Joanne, where the ship was parked this whole time. Mm-hmm. It is in fact in a hangar within Jabba's palace. I also liked the scene in the cantina with Black Chrysanthemum and Garza Garza Fwip. Forgot there's an F there. Fwip. I like how she's just trying to calm him down. He's like, all right. I was like, I'm going to rip his arm off anyway. But it was a cool callback also to A New Hope. That was the first thing I thought of because you don't actually see him pull the arm off. You just hear it. Yeah. And then you see it fall to the ground. So it was almost like that scene in the cantina. So there were a couple of callbacks to A New Hope. There's even a callback to Grievous in this with the butcher droid, the cook droid with the knives. I thought that was really cool.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that was really cool too. There were a lot of things I did like. I did even like the meeting. I liked the meeting where the Rancor basically said, "Hey, I'm under here, bitch.
I'm here.
I can see you guys. I see you. Mm-hmm. I just want a little bit more, and maybe this just going to be a slow burn. And it would make sense for him to be so conservative, and then just go either full blown back crazy, or just exert his dominance at least at one point where it pays off the most. And that makes the most sense. Hell, it might even be in the finale where he gets a bunch of people to help, maybe even Din. I also agree. I don't think he's going to join them. Maybe not necessarily joining in a fight. Yes. I mean, he's not going to just show up and say, "Hey, yo, what's up?" And like give him a pound or whatever and then leave. I think he's going to help him out. I mean, Boba helped him out big time when Grogu was trying to, reach out to the Jedi that we didn't know who he was. But he basically kicked, and that was the scene I was talking about when he was basically him and Fennec beating the shit out of stormtroopers. I thought that was one. Well,
also, because I rewatched that episode, I don't think Boba's soft, but Boba just be handing out. Look, I owe you. I owe you a line of debt. That's what he said to Mando when he gave him his armor back. He was just like, I love you forever. And it was just like, all right, weirdo. Okay. Like, no, whatever you need, I'm here for you. It's the same thing he did with Finn and Shan. Like, she woke up and he was just like, hey, you didn't save me, but you helped me. Therefore, whatever you want, I got you. And it's just like, all right, you're handing out a lot, Boba. Like, Boba's just like, look, whatever you want, you help me, you got it. That's why I said I appreciate where he's coming from in how he's handling things, because it's been pretty consistent of, hey, you look out for me, I got you. Whatever you need, I got you. I'm here for you.
When you and I talked earlier after the show you and I did today, and we were talking, and I said there was another scene that I wasn't crazy about, and it came off of the scene that I admit to Joel, it was a badass scene where he was like, you know what, you come with me. I got a couple of errands to do. And he's talking to Fennec. She goes, all right, I'll come for the ride. And then he just like shows up and just starts blasting the shit out of the biker gang, which was awesome. Then he makes another pit stop, and I'm like, yo, he's gonna fucking blow the Sarlacc pit up. He's gonna go like he's going fucking crazy right now. And I was happy. I was like, okay, here we go. Then he's like, all right, we're just gonna nose in. I'm gonna go all like Leviathan and look down and shine a light. And he's like, I wonder if my arm is down there. I'm like, bro, you crawled out of the pit. You knew you had your armor on you. How do you not know that you came out wearing your armor? It just didn't. That scene to me, it's a little nitpick because I didn't hate it. I'm like, oh, what's going on? What's going on?
I just took it more so as he got out of that Sarlacc pit and was very close to death.
Yeah.
Then got hit in the head really hard.
They did. They hit his head.
Stripped of his armor.
So did the
Raiders. The likelihood of him remembering. Because think about it. If he remembered, he would have just went after any Ewoks that he could find to figure out.
Jawas. Don't go after Ewoks.
Whoa.
Come on,
man. Come on.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just kill one Ewok. Who cares? Anyway. But yeah, sorry. Jawas. So if he remembered that, he would have just went after them easily. So clearly he didn't remember. He just remembered he got out of the pit, and that's it. So I think part of him is like, maybe I got out of it and it fell back in there. Like maybe that's what happened.
How did she know what that button was?
She's a professional assassin. I mean,
she's been around.
Yeah, she knows a little bit about everything. I mean, what's that?
Watch.
Also,
Bad
I think
Batch.
a lot of people
She's
know
been in a ship before.
Right. Also, I think a lot of people know how to utilize the Slave One. I don't think the Slave One buttons are. I will never.
I can't imagine they're all that different either, though. There's probably a certain way that all ships are, floating.
By the way, outside of Din's theme song and Boba's theme song, that bomb.
It's the best.
That sound in all of Star Wars.
Well, there's a couple. It's to me, for me, it's always been definitely Seismic came later because I was in Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
Yeah. So Seismic came later. For me, the original sounds were always like I love the land speeder, the TIE fighter, the TIE fighter sound.
Yeah,
I love
hand getting cut off. That was a good sound too. I like
no.
It's one of my favorite sounds. Is that cynic? No? Okay. But no, I did appreciate him going back there to try to figure out. By the way, I don't know how much a Sarlacc pit can endure before it's just like, I'm gonna just die now.
Yeah, it's gotta be dead there, right?
I imagine it.
I thought it was dead before.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, Joel. That's why I'm like, it can withstand a lot, apparently. Goodness gracious. That thing
I had to get a lot of sand in that body. So.
And the back decay, the back, we finally got that answer too. The back to tank, it's done. He's fine. He's fully healed.
That's why he was in it. He was constantly healing.
Everybody kept fucking bothering him. Like, yo, let me just heal.
Yeah.
You got Wookiees coming in, which we also now know. That, what else did we learn in this episode? There are some hidden ways to get in that palace.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Also, I thought she broke the door.
Yeah, that was the thing. Did they ever repair that?
Maybe he didn't. Maybe Black Chrysanthemum just walked in and was just like, oh shit, okay.
Two things. Is that a mini lightsaber? Number one, that she's using. I don't think it is, but it looks like a little mini lightsaber, like a pocket lightsaber.
I think it's the equivalent of like
a pocket knife.
Yeah, like a pocket knife.
The Swiss Army saber.
Yeah, I think she had a saber shank.
Nice.
I think that's a saber shank.
Nice.
Like what they
And then the
use-
other thing is
She
too,
slit that
since
motherfucker's
when does
throat.
Jabba's palace door open 2 ways?
Right.
It does not. Or it
That was
should.
weird.
Well, maybe that was the back door
That might. Oh wait,
because
Boba
that
likes
was a
back door.
hanger.
Boba likes backdoor. You're right.
Boba
Yes.
doesn't like the back door. You can ask
Yeah.
Leia. Anyway, I did think it was funny that
Jesus.
Fennec Shan had to be a different breed of monster to slit a robot's throat.
Hey.
Like,
Dude, yeah, like 8 knives. What are you gonna do?
but she slit its throat like it was a person. Like, come here, you little motherfucker. Slit. And it's just like, that's not a
Right.
human being. Like,
The rat
like,
catcher's like,
gracious.
fuck, I'm just gonna shut myself off.
right? Let me just take
The
you
rat
out.
catcher's like, no, I got you.
I'm good.
That rat catcher did come in there like, all right, where's the rat? And he's like, what the fuck is happening? What is this? Like, what did you bring me into?
Right.
But Trayvon, I kick it to you, man. What were your thoughts on this episode?
Okay. I for one I'm tired of the flashbacks, but I do understand them, I guess. I do like I guess you got to see their backstory on why, like everybody's saying, why she's so loyal to him. That's cool. I like their banter back and forth. I still think she's gonna betray him, but that's what I think. I just don't. Okay. I think she's gonna get sick of him being so passive. But anyway, that's just how I look at it. Yeah, it is, and that's fine. So I don't know. I did think that was the best thing I've seen in the show the whole time, of him when he shot the rocket to like incinerate the person that was like climbing up the roof.
Loved it.
Then when he was in the ship blasting them, that was like the coolest parts of this entire thing for me. When he actually showed badassery for once or twice. And so I just feel like since this show started, they've been trying him. And I was like, so you get attacked at the beginning. The mayor just don't respect you at all. Obviously, the Hutt sending people to kill you. I just feel like the passiveness is not working. Like, it hasn't been working since the start of trying to gain respect. So I feel like, when are you going to like realize that's not working? And just from a little creature reaching their nails up, scaring them a little bit, that's not enough. Like, they're scared of that creature, not you.
Just wait.
Like,
so he rides in town on that Rancor, and I guarantee you they will bend the knee, because that Rancor is loose. There's no chains. And he's riding it.
Yep,
So
it's not in the cage. Yeah.
He can easily just say, I'm sorry. What yeah, all Boba has to say is, I'm sorry, what were you saying? You want my Rancor to eat you right now? All right, that's what I thought. Cool, no problem.
What kind of training does Boba have? Is he an assassin? Would you call him an assassin? What is he?
Yeah.
I know, but he's like, obviously he's a marksman because he's got to be a good shot. But what kind of training do you think he has that he's endured? As far as we know, physical combat, he learned the training that the Tusken Raiders taught him, right? But I'm just talking about.
He also learned whatever the clones learned.
Well, no,
right.
I was about to say, Joel, remember, they weren't necessarily taught a whole bunch. A lot of that was just genetics. They just got it.
Yeah, but he was taught. His father was,
my point is, there was a line in this. I think was it this? It had to have been this episode because it's the only thing I watched today, where I'm almost positive he says, because it was a flashback. He tells Fennec, "I am nothing without my armor."
Right.
What?
It's all the weaponry.
No, I don't think he means physically. I think he means that persona. Like, no one recognizes.
Nobody respects him without the armor on.
He's just another clone, at least visually, without his armor.
Also, to be fair, Joe, that is the mindset of every Mandalorian. The suit is the weapon. You take me out of the suit. That's it. That's all I have. You take Din out of that suit, he doesn't make it a full 2 seasons.
I think, yeah, I agree there with Din. I do agree there with Din. Din was, no, because he didn't always have Beskar. He had some type of armor, but obviously he got upgraded.
Right.
Cool to where like bullets were just bouncing off of him. He was invincible.
Right.
So I get that, but I don't know. Boba I always felt was different to me because I just feel like the training itself. Granted, obviously, as far as a shield goes or armor goes, you're going to
Hold
be
on.
less.
Are you asking, can Boba hold his own out of the suit?
No,
Is
we
that what
know
you're
he can. We know he can. It was just that line to me just felt like again, like it was. We get.
I didn't get it that. I didn't look at it that way. I thought it was all about persona. It wasn't that I'm nothing physical. I'm no one knows who I am without the armor.
Yeah, it's all perception.
What I mean.
Also, you could look at it. You can kind of look at it. This is a weird comparison, but you can kind of look at it like luchador, right?
Yeah.
That mask is everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything. They do not take it means everything to them. So if you're Boba, that suit means everything to you, right? That's everything. So to not have it and then to go on about life without it, that's all people know is that suit.
Again, he had to accept himself, re-accept himself.
Right. But look, he was fiending for that suit when he found it like a crackhead, right? Where he saw it and was just like, all right, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get this suit back. But we did see that he can exist without it. He just does not prefer to.
It existed 5 years.
That is not a preference of his. Where it's just like, you know what? No suit today. No. If he can have that suit every day, he's wearing it every day.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm with Joel. I don't think he means like, hey, I will die without wearing this suit. It just that's his identity. That's who he is. Hell,
I mean, 5 years without it. Like it's obviously not the truth. Not physically. He can physically obviously hold himself.
Wait, you said 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, since what Return of the Jedi to the modern day.
Yeah, from coming out of the Sarlacc pit to present time, it's for about 5 years.
Yeah, it's about.
It is not even about. It is 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
I'm so confused.
How? What part don't you get?
You're saying from when he landed in the Sarlacc pit to when he got out of the Sarlacc pit.
No.
To present day is 5 years. He just got the armor back. He just got his armor back. So it's been 5. He's lived 5 years without that armor.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right.
What part don't you get? Like
all right.
I don't know because again, the timeline is very murky because we're made to believe that whole Tusken Raiders thing, right, was all in the span of like a month or two. Not years. He wasn't with them for years.
Even if it was a month, it doesn't matter. My point is that he hasn't had his armor for like almost 5 years.
Oh, no. I wasn't arguing that. It was the 5 years that threw me off. That's all I'm saying. It was the 5 years. It's not been 5 years since Return of the Jedi to present day.
Yeah, no, it has. It's the same thing. It's 5 years.
5 years.
No. I'm sorry. I'm saying from when he got out of the Sarlacc pit, went on that journey, and then found Fennec Shan, and then found that Din had it.
Yes,
it's been 5 years. Yeah, around 5 years. Because the Mandalorian started that series started approximately 5 years after the Empire fell. Correct?
Juwan, I told you,
right?
It's 4 ABY, 4 years after the Battle of Yavin, right? Or 4 ABY is when Return of the Jedi was, and then present day Mando and Boba is 9 ABY. So it's been 5 years.
It just jumps from like the last flashback to now, which is more current. So the last flashback was really just a couple months ago or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, like it's kind of indisputable. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely 9 because I was trying to say, wait a minute, what about first? But first season of Mando has not. It doesn't matter anything because it wasn't in there.
Right.
Yeah, it was all second season of Mando.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
That's why, because we settled that like the episode of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying, Trayvon?
I was saying, no, I guess I think I want to say, I don't want to say too much more negative. The Wookiee fight.
I told you, stop that. Whatever you
Trayvon. Let the negative rise.
Just say it. Whatever you're feeling, that's what you said.
Dark side rise.
Good.
The show just isn't. I don't know. I kind of
do it.
I am really hoping that it does pick up next week because not that enthusiastic to watch the show.
Traven, I think it will. I really do. They have no more.
It's
I don't
just-
think we're going to see any more flashbacks because there's no point unless
I
they
don't
have
like-
to show.
I know you don't like story. We get it. You want to see action. You want bad action.
Something.
No nice people. We get it. I understand.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not even like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm like the least Star Warsy guy here, but it's just like
Possibly.
this isn't. I don't know.
Like
This
your
is.
Star
I'm
Wars
having a lot
bad
more
focus.
fun with Clone Wars right now than I am with this. Like this just
Clone
isn't.
Wars is a little more fun.
I'm
I mean,
having so
that-
much more fun.
Well,
It's
yeah.
literally the greatest time in Star Wars history. So I
So I'm
understand
having-
that. I get
I'm
that.
flying
Yeah.
through this season.
Yeah,
Like
good.
it's
Yeah,
fun.
I get
Even though
that.
that first couple
but-
seasons a little more campy for me.
Yeah. Well, and dude, and I get it. It's hard coming out of a fandom, you know, like getting into a fandom, not really having the backstory, or you
Right.
like having the put the time in for all the years that we have. So I totally get it. You're like, all right, cool. How are you going to keep me hooked? Because I don't really completely understand all this stuff. I totally get it. But, you know, like KJ said earlier, you know, it's focus on the dialogue, focus on the storytelling, you know, like
Journey.
it's all the little stuff in between there that's going to make that big payoff even that much better.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I could definitely see them building up to that. I mean, for me, just not knowing him and just hearing about what he's supposed to be, and for what I'm getting in this show is just very contradictory to me. I'm like, so he's
When
very,
you get the baby Boba.
you know,
Like,
You're getting very close to baby. Baby Boba.
not a
Yeah,
baby,
you're
but we
getting
know.
very
him.
close.
He's a
yeah, I know
kid.
what you mean. I know what you
You're
mean.
getting very, very, very close. And when you see the lengths this child will go to,
Yeah, he was. Hey, he was a little dick. That's what he's come a long way.
Joel's being very polite. Boba was a piece of shit. But again, it was very entertaining.
He
but
was he had anger issues a lot. There's a lot to handle.
Yes.
But
But do keep in mind, a lot of his actions literally follow right after Attack of
It's all
Clones.
warranted. He was angry. He was very
It's
angry.
literally right after Attack of Clones, watching his father get murdered. So a lot of that is just
Yeah.
trying to resolve some of those.
That's all still fresh.
okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what the Wookiee character. I don't know what you call him, Black
KRS-One.
something.
KRS-One.
Okay, sure. KRS-One. Okay, sure. I'll go with that. That's easier than whatever y'all been saying. Santa and whatever y'all been saying.
That's perfect.
Oh.
That's it. You said
What did
it.
she call him? Santo?
Santos, yeah.
Santo, right? Isn't that what she called him?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
I thought that was cool. I was like, okay. I did not understand why he hated him. This gave me a little bit of backstory. I thought he did something to the woman. I thought they did something, like took something from her, and I thought he gave it back to her. He gave something to her at the end. I was like, that why he did all that, or he just angry?
No, he was just angry. He paid for his
He-
tab is what he
Oh,
did.
yeah, that's what
She-
it was. Okay.
yeah,
Also, let's not rule out that he is a very angry individual, but he had his reasons for doing what he
Yeah.
did. That wasn't random.
Yeah. That's what I thought of, because he was just sitting there. I was like, did he see something? Did he do something wrong? And then he went and got him. I didn't get it. So I was like, now I get it. Okay, now I get it. But then I did just chalk it up to him just being an angry character in general. So maybe he just wanted to fight somebody.
He was drinking too. It doesn't.
That's
It doesn't.
true.
It always adds something to it. He's
Yeah.
drinking.
Hey man, we've all turned into likes to fight guy, you know, after you have a couple.
Yep.
Let me see what else happened this episode. Like I said, I talked about the meeting they had. I just didn't like the meeting. I thought they walked over him. That's what I got from it. I hope it pays off the way he handled it. Yes, walking around on top of that big creature down there, that would be cool to see. And I'm sure that'll put some fear in a lot of people's hearts, I guess. But he won't always have that thing around with him. I would hope not, anyway. But
As long as he's on Tatooine, I'd ride that shit every day.
He wants to ride it, so
He
wants to ride
does.
it.
He does.
I'd ride it while I'm just watering flowers, just looking at everybody. Like, yeah. Yeah. Don't think I'm soft because I'm watering flowers. You see the Rancor.
I'd be impressed. You're on a desert. Pal.
But see, that's why they would fear Boba. They're like, how the fuck did he grow flowers in a desert? That's what would install fear. There we go. That's a bad motherfucker, right? Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's really all I got to say. I mean, yeah, pretty much that's it. Fennec is awesome as usual. Yeah.
You gotta stop trying to turn her and Boba against each other, though, Trayvon. You gotta work.
I was watching. Look, during the meeting, right? During the meeting, I was like looking for her to see her reaction to what he was saying. Because when he was saying that, I was like, what does she think?
Because she knows.
Like, because he was very like, I don't want anything for you. I don't want any tribute. And I was like, how does she feel about this? Because she was telling you to be a badass too. Like, don't let them walk over you. Do something. Like, so I'm like, how does she feel? Now she nodding. What's going on here?
I think she gets. I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but she's very quickly learning her place in all this. And her place is very much whatever Boba wants to do is what Boba's gonna do. So you can tell him, hey, I think you should probably cut this guy's head off just for shock and awe. And Boba's gonna go, oh, really? Okay, not doing that. Anyway, sit down. Okay, what was I saying? So I think she just kind of now just understands he's just gonna do whatever he wants to do. So I'm here to make sure he doesn't die. That's it. That's really it. That's all. But yes, stop trying to break them up. That is a friendship I want.
Everyone wanted to end with him back in the Sarlacc pit.
Do you think the series is going to end with Boba getting modified?
Oh, that's interesting.
I told you I wanted to see a mix of Tusken Raider look with his armor.
What is modified? What did you say? Modified or what did you say?
Modded out like the cyberpunk kids or like the Power Rangers. Yeah.
Oh,
like
that's what I meant.
Oh no, jeez, no.
Maybe getting like a bright yellow or bright orange jetpack and stuff.
Matter of fact, where are they? Where are they? By the way, like
hoping for a semi-soft magenta.
What kind of question is that? You honestly don't know where they are right now?
I want them to be right there.
They're in Angel Grove.
Standing behind.
I want them standing Angel Grove, Trayvon.
Don't do that.
They're in Angel Grove. They got to go talk to Zordon and Alpha. That's where they are. Come on now.
I mean, at least they'll be doing some more badass. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Scooters combined.
Trayvon, I will never forget when you said that, and I swear I thought you.
That's how it looked. That's how it looked. I thought they were gonna line up. I did.
Ultron.
That's how it looked, man.
Yeah, so yeah, stop trying to break up Fennec Shan and Boba. That I love that friendship between them.
I like it.
It's a fun one. It's a fun one. It's the one that I can guarantee you Bo-Katan and Din Djarin won't have. That friendship is purely just till he dies.
You think she's still following him for real?
Until she gets that saber back, 1,000%.
So you glossed over my question. You really like.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Forget about. All right. Well, forget about that. I was being facetious with the whole multicolored jetpack, whatever. But what about like a cybernetic arm or something like that? Some type of enhancement. You don't think he's gonna get it?
No.
All right.
No. Whether he gets it or not, I have no idea. Do I want it? Absolutely not.
All right.
Absolutely. I really think that look is, to me, is usually only cool on Jedi. Like it's just such a badass thing to see on Jedi. I don't really need it for anyone else.
I do love the VR Trooper helmet that Fennec wears. I wish she wears it more.
I do like that too.
I do like that.
It looks like VR Troopers. That's what it looks like to me.
Hated
it.
So
I want her to wear it again. I loved it.
I like her helmet. Yeah.
Really
now again, if you meant modifications to where, whether it's armor or whatever the case may be, yes, I do hope he gets that. But no.
Maybe actual pure Beskar.
No,
because then he looked like Mando. No.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to keep those two things.
Well, no, they can colorize it. No, because he says his is Beskar now. His is Beskar now.
No, but not the Beskar that Mando Din had, and that's only one color. Right, that's only one color. Yeah, he does. But the one Din has is only one color. So I mean, I could Boba just spray paint it? Sure.
It's like when you go to the store and you want like a Captain America doll, and it's like Senior America.
Yeah, those are usually fun figures.
Senior America.
Those are usually fun figures. All right,
they were fun.
Yeah, in the comments section.
Those are the worst.
All right, we've been over.
Are you gonna start talking about GoBots now? I mean, what the hell?
Oh, here we go.
Nothing wrong with GoBot.
Hey
All
man,
right, so to
leader
keep
one.
to keep this in Star Wars, there is a rumor going that Obi-Wan will be dropping on May 4th. For May the 4th be with you.
Perfect.
Which
Is
will
it
be
a Wednesday?
Yes.
Is it a Wednesday?
I would assume so.
Which I mean,
It is.
for the past 2 years they've dropped something Star Wars on May 4th. I mean, they moved up Mando for May the 4th.
Right.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense that Obi-Wan comes on May the 4th. Because they've got nothing else in the hopper, and that's only a couple months away.
Right. Which is really awesome if true, because it means we'll be getting a trailer before March.
Yep.
For March, we'll have a trailer for
Super Bowl.
Obi-Wan.
Oh, maybe.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's your good call, Trayvon.
Yep.
Super Bowl trailer.
I can
Oh,
almost
yeah.
promise you the likelihood of that is almost slim to none.
Why?
People don't want to, because
No,
these
the
studios
perfect
came out
platform.
and said they don't want to pay Super Bowl prices anymore.
Oh, that
Like
is true.
it doesn't
Did
mean what
Disney
it
say that?
Yeah.
Disney's done
Have
it.
you seen Disney do it that often in the Super Bowl? But
don't
to
know.
be fair, Disney usually regulates to
I don't know.
Disney does keep things exclusively to ESPN usually. That's why you got Moon Knight during
Oh, true.
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Yeah.
Right.
So this is an NBC.
I got it on YouTube. Yes.
Right. But to be fair, I think the whole point the studios were making was when we would drop these trailers during the Super Bowl, A, it was literally everyone was watching the Super Bowl, and B, no one was running to YouTube to go check it out.
Right.
Now
Right.
you just have
Different
so
time,
many,
man.
many
Different time.
ways to watch it. It doesn't
Right.
have to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying almost $250,000
True.
to play a minute and a
That's
half
true.
to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They
No,
just
it
true.
makes sense. It makes sense.
That's true. Well, maybe around that time they'll just
Time
on YouTube. There you go.
Look,
There you go. Pro Bowl
not-
weekend.
it's
Yeah.
not out of the realm of
So
possibility.
nobody watches it.
It's not out of the realm of possibility for Disney to go, okay, all right, Super Bowl, you think you're better than me? Obi-Wan, here it is. And everyone's just like, Obi-Wan is what I'm talking about. I don't even know what a Super Bowl is. So I
During
can
the game.
No, those
during the
football
game.
now just couldn't even say Marvel, right? Marvel. Like,
yeah, I don't understand what she was doing. Like what?
Who's the
How did
guy?
you read that like that?
I almost wanted to
Marvel's
go, almost
Moonlight.
want to go click on this game just so I could hear that, but then I said no. I just waited.
Bro,
Bad,
the
bro.
way that was said with so much confidence.
reading
I'm just
that.
like, why did you read it like that? Like, where did you ever hear that?
I was offended.
Marvel's Moon Knight. What, lady? Get
Yeah,
out of
the
here.
guy.
I
The
missed
guy
it.
that said that.
It was a
definitely
guy.
said
He
that.
sounded like a chick. Maybe that's what the problem was. Maybe he just had a whole lot of problems going on in life. But anyway,
I'm starting to feel like they
Anyway, I
moved it
just
to
hope that-
Wednesdays on purpose now. No, think about it. Maybe they moved to Wednesdays on purpose because they saw this date was coming. They were like, May the 4th is on a Wednesday in 2022. Move every goddamn
Better
thing.
than Wednesday.
Like, move
I don't
everything.
know. I don't know numbers wise why they moved it to Wednesday.
Something is releasing on Fridays though now, isn't? Didn't they have two things going at one point? One was released on a Wednesday, the
think
other one
it's
was on a Friday.
I think it's because
they
of
had
movies.
Bad Batch. They had Bad Batch. going.
Yeah, Loki was on Wednesday.
Oh,
Bad
Loki.
Batch was on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they saw that the numbers were good on that day and they just said, you know what, we'll keep it.
There's
Well,
no
and-
bad day.
And
I'm
the
gonna
other
be-
thing too,
True,
guys.
true.
The other thing too is as far as the programming goes, you got to remember when Disney Plus launched, it was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like that was like the main thing. Nobody was going anywhere, right? So, instead of people getting depressed on the weekends, they decided to, hey, let's give you something to look forward to. So we're gonna drop this on Friday. Once everything started opening back up,
Movie theaters.
almost a second it did. Not
Yeah.
no, this is well before the movie theater. We're talking like Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, and all that stuff. They shipped once like restaurants started opening back up, and like people are getting out of the house. They took that off the weekends so they would have better viewership during the week.
Yeah, but
I'll say
Trayvon's almost right, is right though, by saying movies, because now that the movie theaters are open,
Yes.
most releases are happening Thursday night and Friday.
Yeah.
Now, yes,
It's
100%.
distracting. It's not going to detract the audiences from going to the movies to see their IPs.
Right.
Correct.
And I get it. They did it for more casual, because I can tell you right now, whatever day of the week you drop it, invested fans don't care.
Don't care.
No.
True.
Right.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you told me, hey, Moon Knight comes out the same day as the Batman, do you really think that I'm not seeing the Batman and then coming home and watching Moon Knight? Like, I'm not even taking a break. I might even watch Moon Knight on the car ride back home. You know what I'm saying?
Watch Moon Knight while you're in the theater on your phone.
I might
While
watch
you
it
wait-
while I'm watching Batman. Ask them
Yeah.
to kind of put two screens up. You know
There's
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
chance
Like,
Moon Knight will drop
split it.
before any movie. So you probably watch Moon Knight first, honestly.
Dude, that's why I put
Right,
7
yeah.
TVs in the pub here in the basement, so I could just do that. It's
yeah,
all
surround
good.
yourself.
You
So
both think
again,
that-
I do believe it was
Work
more
smarter, not
casual.
harder.
I do believe it was done more casually, because you're believing people have less to do on a Wednesday than they do on a
Yes.
Friday. I get
Sure.
it. But if Netflix is
Oh.
telling the truth, which I always believe they're not, they never take a dive with releasing shit on the weekend.
Right.
They actually do their
Yeah.
best numbers releasing everything on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
But but also when you look at that, their numbers spike and then taper. They don't
Oh,
have,
yeah, that's only because they
Well,
drop
that's
it.
could have binge it. Yeah, everything
right.
the
Yeah.
whole season.
and that's why I think Disney Plus has been so brilliant on this when they started this with WandaVision, doing the weekly releases, like taking it back old school. It's like, okay, you get weekly episodes. This is an episodic television, this is an episodic
You
series.
gotta wait. You
I
gotta
feel like they
wait.
took that from
Exactly.
Hulu.
I hate
They
it.
took that from Hulu.
They took it from
takes
broadcast
less
television.
prep for me, too.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well, I'm
say,
saying what?
cable
Yeah,
TV. Yeah.
another streamer. Yeah.
Which,
Right.
which I always have to applaud Netflix for, because the whole point of Netflix's whole slogan was, we're better than cable TV, right? You get everything right here, right? And I love that they've stayed firm in that.
Except
I
for
don't
the
like
price.
how everyone else is just like, hey, cable TV, we're now streaming cable TV. And it's just like, bro, don't make me wait weeks, man. Give me this shit. Give it to me. Give it to
Right.
me. Let me
But-
inject this in my veins. Come on.
Yeah, but if it weren't for Disney Plus doing this, we would not be having this show every week. We would not not have all the theories that we have.
Right.
I mean, just think how
fun this
much
way.
this. Yeah, exactly. Think of how much we're engaging ourselves. Like having our brains fire, the way they need to fire, because it's going on every single week. It's
And,
not just getting dumped on
And
you.
Disney is
know
my
all the
mindset?
promo.
My mindset? I wouldn't have had to sit through 8 weeks of thinking Mephisto if I just had that shit in one day. Consumed
Right.
it, saw he wasn't there,
Hey.
it would have been fine.
I just
It would have
recently,
been, it would have been way easier for
But
me.
they don't care about that. They care about letting it live for 8 weeks as opposed to a weekend.
That's why I'm happy Power Rangers is
Tell
going
them.
to Netflix the whole season.
And
I'm happy a lot of things is going to Netflix. Give me that shit all now.
And don't get me wrong. There's a place for binging and stuff like that. But after a while, I think we've talked about this before. Even like on the MCR, is the fact that it gets like, I feel lazy doing that. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? It's like
No,
it's like
I'm-
No,
it's
I
like I'm
get it,
taking
I
the
get
easy
it.
way out.
yeah,
I don't have to work for it. I feel in a way almost kind of dirty doing it. Now I still do, and I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but it just kind of, again, like with the, we've talked about before, Joe, you and I have talked about that before, Joe. Is just like, that laziness in the, like, why can't anyone come up with the original idea, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I kind of feel the same way about binge watching stuff.
I
Yeah.
got you.
No, I hear you loud and clear. I am the laziest mofo on this planet. Give it to me now. Right, absolutely right.
I want
now.
it all. I want it all right now.
I was
Are you
100% behind it for the longest time. Not like when Marvel used to drop their shows, and I just wake up in the middle of the night and watch it.
Yes.
Oh.
3 a.m. Yes.
I'll be done by the end of the weekend, or sometimes, and it's like
Yes.
I'm so different now. Maybe because I'm older. I'm like, nah, I'll let me stretch it out so I can enjoy it. So it's not done in a day. Then I'm like,
because you're talking about it after you watch a full, let's say you watch a full series of a full season of Daredevil, right? You're talking about it for maybe a day or two, right? I'm not saying it's bad because it wasn't. Daredevil, those on Netflix are amazing, but the conversation that you're gonna have about it, it dwindles. It does. So
it does. Yeah.
Once I get that shit out, I don't care. All right, that's all we got for you guys on this week's episode of Galactic Review. Let us know in the comment section. You guys have been awesome today. But let us know, guys, what a lot of you guys thought of this episode, how excited you are for next week's episode. Again, I'd say tame expectations. They set up for the future of the rest of this season, not necessarily the very next episode. So we'll get there, whether or not, it's Din Djarin or whatever it is. We will get there. And it's
8 episodes, right?
It's how many?
Is this 8?
Yeah.
8 episodes?
8. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll get there. So don't worry. We will get there. We could have had it all at once, but whatever. But all right.
Needs the promo.
Huh?
Izzy needs the promo from us every week.
It's called customer retention. That's why these guys are worth billions upon billions.
Oh my goodness. Again, I will forever say Disney Plus, charge me $30 to get this shit all in 1 week. I'll pay it. I'll fucking pay it.
We only got 3.
He's the only one saying that. Okay, so
there's only 3 episodes.
I'm out. No. I'm not saying make the whole subscription base $30. I'm saying give me just a higher tier I can go to. That's $30. I'll gladly pay it. I'll pay. I bought Black Widow. Easy.
3 episodes left. 3 left.
But
only 7.
It's only 7. Oh, wow. 7. Okay.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, things might start ramping up next week then.
Should.
Definitely.
It should.
Yeah.
7 episodes?
Yeah.
Not 8?
Yeah, only 7.
That's so quick.
It's a weird number. We said
you just ruined Joel, dude.
I remember looking it up when we first started.
That's right. Yeah, we
did. Yeah, it's 7. Yeah.
Yeah, that's budgetary, bro.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You want to ride a Rancor? You can't have that 8. The 8 is too many. The whole budget's on
3 more episodes.
It gotta look good because it can't look like that race.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes, Trayvon.
Din Djarin scenes. He's gonna only be from the waist up.
That's all they can afford.
Not gonna be able to get that best car.
Fighting. Yeah. He might not even be fighting. And if you listen closely, it might not even be Pedro Pascal. It might be someone that sounds like him. Might be Pablo Pascal.
Boba's going to be looking for somebody to help him, right? Din is going to come up and he's like, "This is the way." That's it.
That's it.
It's definitely not. We're not getting the dark saber. That's not happening. That's
probably
not. We're not getting that.
If Din is fighting, we will get the dark saber, but that's why I believe he's not fighting. I believe he's just lending out. He's rent-a-center. He's like, "How many Mandalorians you want? All right, you got to pay on that shit monthly. All right, we're good." But yeah, so we're gonna be getting some good stuff. It won't be long. All right, last thing I want to say before we get out of here, because Tia just tagged me in it. Shout out to Tia. She just tagged me in it on Twitter. A lot of you guys are assuming that crate in the back of that truck, that Moon Knight trailer, was
Von
Victor
Doom.
Von Doom. It is 100% not Victor.
It was what?
They thought it because it says Von and then D-O. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that's Von Doom." It's not.
They absolutely
talking in a Winter Soldier, and it wasn't.
And they absolutely did it on purpose, though. They
definitely did. Yeah,
they absolutely did it on purpose.
But again, in this very next shot, it shows the full name, and it's not Victor Von.
Very next shot.
Someone was not paying attention.
No. Again, this isn't me criticizing anyone because if you just saw it as quickly as you see it, no one takes time to freeze frame anything. So that I'm not calling anyone out. But I'm just saying
you gotta catch the next frame.
It's 100% just not that. Like that. It's no.
That man is playing Gallagher. He didn't think we noticed, but we did.
But we did. Yeah.
But we did. Patches, you enjoyed that Moon Knight trailer, right?
I did. I really did. And like I've said before, I know nothing about the character. I'm not going to read the comics. I don't, I don't care about the comics for this series. I am all about just learning about a new character and enjoying the ride. I'm so pumped for this.
Yeah,
Those are the good ones. Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah, we said that during our Moon Knight review. We said it might be best that if you don't know a lot of these characters coming up, to just let the MCU teach you.
Yep.
Don't worry about the accuracy of it. Just let the MCU teach you, because they're gonna change shit.
Well, and
I'm not just red. Okay.
Dude, 13 years ago, I think 13 now, this started, the whole MCU started with a B character in Iron Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel tells, like, the MCU does the best with the ancillary characters. Some of the best movies, Guardians. I mean, like, that's arguably like the easiest movie for anybody, fan or not, to watch.
Well,
you know,
also,
like,
Patches, to your point, the biggest thing that stands out is they've been doing this for 12 plus years.
yeah,
Only a handful of these movies are actually based off of a comic counterpart. Right. Like, even if it's loosely based, only a handful of these are actually based off of an actual comic book, rather than someone just making a somewhat original story of a character that already exists.
Aside from Captain America and Thor and the Hulk, I mean, like, just about every other Avenger and everybody else that's been a part of this have all been, you know, like the ancillary, you know, the ancillary heroes of the Marvel comics. And I think that's why, you know, MCU has just gotten better and better.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Trayvon, before we get out of here?
Oh, just something I read that apparently Black Panther's kind of era is shut down again. Apparently, a whole bunch of them caught COVID.
COVID in the house.
Yeah,
the movie's never happening. The movie's never happening.
No. Look, I think this is the best thing for this movie. The further you push it back, the better it's going to be when you tell everyone you're recasting T'Challa. It's just going to be so much sweeter.
Or as you like to say, don't hold your breath.
Just recast Shuri. Then they can move on.
Why would you recast Shuri?
Because she's the problem. Because she's the issue right now. She's the problem. That's why I keep getting shut down. That's why I keep.
You saying, Joel?
I said I just don't hold your breath on that count. You know, they made the decision. I doubt they're going to go back and change it now. But I mean, if they did, cool. I mean, it works for me.
Well, again, remember, it doesn't necessarily have to be because we don't know what the premise of how they're handling T'Challa is. So I think once we know that, then we can go, oh, there's no way they're going to go back on that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because the actor died in real life. Do you then kill the character?
No, well, we've had that discussion. No, you shouldn't. Yep. But they said they're not. So I'm just going by what they said. If they change their minds, then cool. But, you know, as long as you don't like multiverse, they're not going to.
You said I don't like what?
You don't like the multiverse stuff. I was like, that's the way to do it. They can switch them out.
No, that's not the way to do it.
No, of course it's not.
Well, what other way do you do? You say you can't kill him.
You can't kill him. Recast. Either way, you're still recasting him. That's the point.
Right. But you also just don't kill T'Challa. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. You know, especially
they did it twice already, and now he's dead in real life. Now he's fucked.
I do think we will let them go if they did that. They just popped up a new guy. Like, oh, here we go. Here's this T'Challa
I'm
now.
Sorry, time out. Who's we? I'm still the same person over here who keeps going on random Black Panther fan pages and telling people how stupid Killmonger being the new Black Panther is.
No, I mean,
I won't accept Doctor Strange doing this and a new T'Challa just walks
No,
out.
I just said.
No,
I said we would let Disney get away with if all of a sudden there was a different T'Challa there, like David Watson.
Who is we? I'm not part of that.
You said you wanted to recast them. That's what I'm saying. Recast them.
Not by a multiverse, though, Trayvon.
No, I'm not talking about that anymore. I'm talking about just automatic, just changing them, and it's a new guy standing there now. Are you gonna let it go? 100%. I think some people would. It'd be weird.
I mean, a lot of people be upset too.
Be weird to me. Wouldn't be weird to me. The character exists still.
It's been done before.
Yes, but at the beginning,
make sense, though, wouldn't it make sense to kill the character off and mourn his death, then just pretend like he never was there?
Well, if they're staying true to what Joel's saying, if they're staying true to they're never going to recast them, then yes.
No, I mean, if you're going to recast him, I'm saying if you do, if you because first of all, a lot of time has passed since the last Black Panther movie. I understand not since Chadwick Boseman has died, but to honor the character, if you're going to go the route of recasting, I would feel a little smited by just having a new guy just appear like nothing ever happened, or Chadwick Boseman never played the character. I would just feel like maybe they should kill that T'Challa off and then
but see what
What
you're doing is what I'm trying to get everyone to stop doing, which is embedding Chadwick Boseman to the Black Panther character, to where it's like, well, if he's not alive, there's no T'Challa. That should never be the case. T'Challa still should live on. So you just recasting him isn't washing away what he's done at all. I still look back and go, Edward Norton was a damn good Bruce Banner. But he's not my Bruce Banner anymore. Got a new one, and I love him too.
Yeah, but Ed Norton didn't die of cancer, though. There's a big difference.
Okay, then I'll give you a better example. I've loved every Joker I've gotten since what's his name passed away.
Right.
Gone without a beat, and no one's complained.
It wasn't without a beat. It was like 11 years later, dude.
It wasn't.
But it's not in the same.
It's 11
It's not in the
years
same
later.
continuity. It's not the same continuity though. You can't compare those.
2018. I'm sorry, 2008. 10 years later.
I'm just saying recasting works. The people.
Oh
who
wait,
don't like
you can't forget Jared Leto's Joker. I forgot about Jared Leto's Joker.
But a completely different continuity though. Like those aren't connected.
I get what you're saying, but it's still a recast. And again, the people that don't like it are the people that are Chadwick Boseman fans, which is fine. But Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther wasn't based off of Chadwick Boseman, so therefore the character should live on. That's insane to me. That's ridiculous. That doesn't happen anywhere else.
I think it should. I think that they should not have they should not have another T'Challa. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I totally, and I agree.
It's just a difficult thing.
It's gonna be at the end of the day, the movie's gonna be in honor of him, regardless, right?
Regardless, right? Yeah. And if someone else came in, it would still be to honor him. It wouldn't be to tarnish anything. It'd still be an honor.
Yeah, because my first argument when it first happened was he just died like twice in this universe, basically.
Right.
And like now you're gonna actually kill him off again. It's like the character barely lived, and now you're gonna take him away completely. And this is like there's really there have been other Black Panthers, but T'Challa is Black Panther. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it just made more sense to just recast. Right. And go forward, and it's just narratively it made more sense. But as they want to honor him, and they're gonna say, "All right, we're gonna kill off T'Challa," you're doing the character. You're going very left at this point. You're like, all right, well, we're doing something completely different that's not really been done even in the comic books. Because for a short while, sure, it was Black Panther, but no one really associates Shuri with Black Panther like they associate it with T'Challa. So like it's very hard. What they're doing is very different. So like accepting it's always going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. Right now, no one likes the idea of it. But at the end of the day, you either recast or you go in a weird direction. And no matter what direction you go, it's weird.
But it's the equivalent. It's almost the equivalent without him actually dying in real life. It's almost the equivalent of you're getting a new Captain America. We've had how many years of Chris Evans be Captain America, right?
Yeah, but at least there was a journey, and then he had at least a standoff.
He passed it down.
He literally passed the torch at the end.
Right. And
even Iron Man had his journey, and he died in the movies, but he was different. I mean, we got to see the whole journey.
Right, but he was robbed
at the beginning of the child.
The only time they've done it is Rhodey. The only time they've done this where they just swap out
after one movie.
Well, that was after one movie.
But also Trayvon,
and that was really weird.
Yeah, no one
was weird. No one cared because we're just starting out. And it was a secondary character. If it was Tony Stark,
honest with you. I think Terrence Howard is brilliant. I think he is a great actor.
Yeah.
If he was in 5 movies, I still wouldn't care. Rhodey is just not a big enough character for me to care that
that's
you
what I'm saying. Yes, right. That's true.
Like I don't care.
Bye. We're talking about T'Challa, who is the main character. Like that's like you doing Tony Stark or Steve Rogers, just swapping them out. Or here's another person. It just
so you get what I'm saying.
I see what you want, but I just do not see it working. I don't know.
I don't see them going in that direction either.
I thought the Black Panther moniker was almost like the way Hawkeye is a moniker. Like Black Panther in the comics wasn't always T'Challa.
That's not the problem with passing that over. He's not saying that's the problem. There's no problem passing that. It's T'Challa he still wants.
But
It's not
Right.
about Black Panther.
But also, to your point, Joe, it's not that fast. It would be the equivalent of us getting 3 or 4 movies of Hawkeye,
I understand.
and then him
No.
going, "All right, Kate, you want this? I'm done." Like,
It's
wait,
a
what?
different, but it's only
Like,
different in this
got so much
situation
more to do.
because of the death. I'm saying, like, if
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
if Chadwick Boseman wouldn't have died, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. If there was
Of
like
course
5 or
not.
6 movies later, no actor's going to continue doing the role. Chris Evans didn't want to do it anymore. Obviously, RDJ stepped down because he wanted to step down. So I'm not saying that once an actor plays a character, it can never be touched. No, of course not.
It's
It's
I
just a little
view
too
it-
fresh. A little too
I
fresh.
just view it the
Unless
same
you're
way.
Indiana Jones or Marty McFly.
Well, besides that,
Well, we're
Yes.
talking 50 years since then.
I just view it the way that his own flesh and blood views it, to where Chadwick would want the character of T'Challa to live on. He would not be saying like, "Well, it ends with me." So if his own flesh and blood is saying that, I'm doubling down on the fact of let's figure this out. You know what I'm saying? It's not too late because we don't even know what this new movie is about. So it's not too late.
That's true.
Figure it out. Figure this shit out. That's all I'm
Got
saying.
all right,
And I'm just saying.
exactly.
Fair enough. But all right, again, Patches, I want to thank you and KJ for stopping by. I loved having you both on.
I know the rare appearance by KJ.
But no, I loved having you guys on. What's new with the Kinda Nerdy Network?
Well,
Yeah.
Kind of Nerdy Network actually came back last week. We rebooted the Kind of Nerdy Night In, which is our Facebook group. Go to facebook.com and search Kinda Nerdy Network, and please join there if you'd like. And then big news: Monday is the debut of season 2 of the Kinda Nerdy Girls podcast. It is back.
Cool.
So it's been on a bit of a hiatus, but Tia from Geek Vibes here actually joined the girls, and I myself was on the podcast as well. So it was
nice.
it was a hell of a good episode and a good way to kick off season 2.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. Tia told me about it, and I was just like, "Oh, that's awesome, Tia." I was like, "Did you say my name like at least 9 times?" And she was like, "No, but you know,
A solid
That's fun.
4 or 5 though. I will give you that.
4 or 5.
Yeah. You
Solid.
got, yeah.
Oh,
4.5.
That's not the contract. That's not the contract, Tia. You must say my name.
He was like,
8 or 9 times.
Right.
Like, could you picture Joel if Tia got to 9 and was just like, he doesn't pay me enough for that 10th name drop? Like, 9 was more than enough.
he who shall not be named.
Yeah. Did you say meow?
Who was it? Devon? Yeah, Devon. Make sure you guys check out Devon of Geek Vibes Nation. I think.
Devon.
Make sure you guys please go and check out
God.
Kinda Nerdy Network, Kinda Nerdy dudes and Kinda Nerdy girls.
Yep. KindaNerdyGirls.com actually gets us to all of our platforms.
Make sure you guys please go check that out. Amazing content over there. Please go check it out.
Thank you.
Joe, we just broke down Moon Knight on your channel.
Yeah, we broke it down. We did. We broke it down.
We broke it all the way down. We did 5 hours, guys, of
Oh,
talking Moon Knight. Yeah, no, I'm joking.
5 hours.
But time out, Joe. Look how horrible I am. They believed it.
kind of cool.
Right? Everyone was just like, "That's Juwan."
Fun to me.
No, he would go 5
We
hours.
drafted the
Right.
entire series. We drafted the entire series, and then we also drafted the sequel.
It was awesome. We
season
had
2.
all the actors come on. They were telling us what each episode was about. It was crazy. It was
Now
phenomenal.
I know you're full of shit, but the 5 hours I totally believed.
See, the 5-hour one, everyone was like, "That's Juwan. Juwan would do that." And now I'm gonna find a way to do a 5-hour podcast. So thank
Nice.
you. But
One
yes,
of you.
let them know. No, Joel, you'll do it with me. No, let them know about your channel.
Well, so yeah, me and Jawan just literally earlier today we did the breakdown, trailer breakdown for the new Moon Knight, and then some point this weekend we'll be doing episode 4 of Peacemaker. That's on HBO Max. We did the first 3 last week, and then of course Monday is our football day, Monday morning quarterback. So we got a big weekend of football, big weekend of football ahead. So
Football's all good now,
find-
too. I can watch again.
oh yeah.
we're all rooting for the Bills to lose. So we're
What?
we're in
I don't know about that.
Dude, did you see? Please tell me you saw the dong that got thrown into the end zone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We talked about that. We talked about it on Tuesday. Yeah.
All right, great.
Those upstaters are disgusting.
Dude, Bills Mafia, they're going crazy.
Those New Yorkers, wink, wink, Joe, are just disgusting people. Those
Upstate New Yorkers.
No, all of New York, except
Super upstate.
Dude, I don't think I think I was 20 years old when I realized that Buffalo was a New York team.
Bro, I'm telling you,
People
everyone
forget all
thought
the
that was
time.
a Canada team. Everyone I always
I had
thought
no idea. I never put two and two together.
Well, they're
So
right
when,
next to Toronto.
when they went to the 4 straight Super Bowls, which nobody ever does, but they lost, I
that
went for
also
every.
no one ever does.
I always went for the NFC team. So I rooted for Washington, then I rooted for first the Giants, then Washington, then Dallas twice. I'm like, fuck these Bills. Who do they think they are? And then like a few years later, when I was like in my 20s, I'm like, that's New York. That's actually the only New York team New York has. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. So I want you New Yorkers to remember that when you're shit talking New Jersey. Remember, you're in our backyard. Remember that. All right.
That's very true.
Literally. As far as
logo is in our fucking river.
It's here. It's in New Jersey.
I want to get in on that lawsuit, that $5 or $6 billion lawsuit that fan has against the Giants and Jets. I want to get in on that.
Oh, shut up.
New Jersey teams, yeah. Well, suck it, because you're never leaving us.
That's right.
But make sure you guys go check out me and Joel's all new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. We had a great episode talking Giants, Knicks, all the newest geek stuff. There's a rumor that just dropped that Mark Strong is possibly in the new Shazam movie. I don't really know how that works. Could have sworn he died.
He didn't die.
I could have sworn he did. Oh no, he got locked up. That's when the caterpillar thing. Yes, okay. So that does make more sense. Because we thought they were going with that storyline, and then when we heard this storyline, we're like, "Are you just going to ignore that?" Like, okay, so yes, all right, I'm with you. I'm sorry. I'm just so used to Marvel that kills all their villains. I'm sorry. And Trayvon will be joining us for whenever we do. We're gonna do Peacemaker at some point. I promise. We are.
Good show.
I gotta watch the other two. Yeah, I'll watch the same.
It's a good show.
You watch the other two.
Yeah, I watched the first one.
You didn't like it after the first one?
More and abs.
Ain't pull me in yet.
All right.
I tell you this. John Cena finds ways to wear less clothing in
I'm
two.
sure.
Always. He's always in his underwear. Always.
Yeah.
And there was
Whitey's
where he wasn't in his underwear. Yeah.
Tidy whitey's.
Tidy whitey's of all things too.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ.
God bless whoever his wardrobe team is. Just like, all right, John, we're bringing you these tidy whities. You have to try them on and show us. Like, don't there, come out, show us.
I want to know who's helping him take off that suit all the time. Like, put on the suit.
They will not hire you and pay you in John Cena's clothes.
I'm just asking.
I'm just saying they won't. They won't. Okay, they will not.
Costume department. Someone in the costume.
On the first episode, the psychotic butterfly girl is the one that took that suit off.
That's true.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I'm just imagining Trayvon showing up like paid. I don't need to get paid. Can I just take the wardrobe off for him? That's all I ask. I didn't ask for much. Jeez. Like Trayvon, how many times?
I love the helmet. The helmet was awesome. Yeah. That was
cool. There's a lot of good stuff about that. But all right. So make sure you guys check out the Kinda Nerdy Network, Just Your Average Joe on YouTube and Instagram. And Joel and Trayvon, you will find them with me at all times. So just follow everything GVN. I mean, as far as shows, Joel, goodness gracious.
Hey, the way you said it.
All right.
You're always on my dick.
I didn't say that. I'm not against. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you for tuning into an all new Galactic Review. You guys don't tip well enough to hear that conversation go any further. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you same place, same time next week. Till